Hello there, my lovelies, it's me. So today is our last day of the 30-day challenge. Well, it's the last day that you're going to see this sign anyway, because obviously after today it'll be 31 and 32 after that, and so this sign will become irrelevant. So we'll get rid of that. Although the 30-day challenge is kind of over, really it's the 30 days that's over. The challenge itself isn't over just yet, because I've still got some things that I need to cover with you. So I need to cover with you about sewing in the signatures that you've been working on. We need to talk about the cover as well. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to talk to you about some things that you can be doing prep work on. I'm going to take the rest of today and tomorrow off because my granddaughters have come to visit, and I want to do some stuff with them. So tomorrow there will not be a video. There will be more videos to come because there's more things to still cover. As we've already said with making this, there's still more things to cover beyond the putting in the signatures and adding all the bits that you've done. So I'm going to try and do maybe every other day a video until this is complete. Bearing in mind I have got this one, which was the original, that still needs a lot of work on it. I've got the one that we've been working on through the 30-day challenge that I've been demonstrating to you, and I've got the one that I've been doing with the digital kit as well. So I've got 4 to work on because I split the digital kit one into 2 separate ones. So I also want a bit of time to do a little bit of work on the prep side of this myself. So I was thinking about what you could actually do from today until the next video comes. Well, as you already know, I've talked to you about doing the prep work on the background pages of these, so you can position your elements and you can decide whether you want to put some washi tape on, some stenciling, some stamping, whether you want to add lace. And then because these are separate pieces, in fact let's just swap to the other journal which shows that. Just bear with me a sec. So because you've still got all these little individual elements which you can take out, because they should just be paper clipped in place, so you can be working on those and deciding whether you want to add lace or any other little decorative bits to it that we can then attach them later on. So there's that you can be still getting on with, because you've obviously got your second signature to be working on. You've got the first signature to finish off if you've not completed that. So those are 2 lots of things that you can be getting on with for now. And then the other thing that you can start putting some thought process into is the actual cover. Now, as I said at the beginning of this complete challenge, I was always going to demonstrate to you about this gift bag and how I decorate up the gift bag. So someone mentioned about, Carol, you do know that there's this flappy bit in the middle. Yeah, I do. Thank you. We're going to utilise it. So what I did on the original version was I used this as a base for attaching a pocket. And so what I thought I would do for the pockets of this one is I'm going to use this, which is the front cover of the magazine. And then there's the inside page, and I want to use that image. So those are the 2 things that I'm going to use to make this pocket for the inside. Now I'm going to make it, but I'm not going to attach it because I want to put my signatures in first before I attach it. So that's something that you can be thinking about. So what we need to know is the actual depth measurement of this, which is, just have a look at that, it's just fractionally shy of 8 3/4 inches. Now if I just twizzle that round, if I, hang on, move that out of the way, if I have a look at this and do it from the top of this right in here, my 8 3/4 inches takes me to the middle of that word, the Daily Mail. If I include the wording, what every woman should know, my 8 3/4 inches kind of chops off the majority of her hat. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it from the top of this writing here, and I'm going to cut it just a little bit shy of that writing at the top up there. Or should I include it? No, I'm going to include it. So if I shift it all up that way, cut it off across the top edge there, and then if I cut it off there, I'm not omitting much of the picture, am I? Right, plan. Next thing, ooh, bringing my signatures with me, is what width to cut it. So from the crease mark to the edge of the bag is just over 7 inches, and my signatures measure 6 inches. So if I cut it to 6 1/4 inches wide, let's just have a look and see what 6 1/4. So I can still get that Daily Mail bit in and the majority of her. Right, 6 1/4, and I've forgotten the length, but I can do that in a minute. So let's just tear these two apart. Strong glue. Tell you what, we'll cut them. Let's cut that off. There we go. There we go. Keep that one aside for a minute. Alright, so we're going to keep the Daily Mail bit in. And we know that we want it 6 1/4. So if I trim that bit off there, and we do that measurement again. It was 8 3/4, I think, wasn't it? Was it? Just shy. So if I do it 8 5/8, 8 5/8. Okay, 8 5/8. 8 5/8 is there, because then I can save that wording and use it maybe somewhere else. Okay, see, I can use that somewhere else now. And 6 1/4 inches wide, I said, didn't I? So 6 1/4, that's there. Yeah, happy with that. There we go. So that will be my pocket, and then I need to do the same with this one. So let's have a butcher's. Okay. So I need to cut off about that there, and I know that I want it 6 1/4 inches wide. 6 1/4, and then so I'm going to chop a bit off the top, and I want to just double check that width, because I think that looked a bit wider. So let's have a look at that. 6 1/4. Yep. There we go. It's better. Yes, that fits. And 8 5/8 long. Yes, okay. So basically that will sit on that side, and this one will sit on this side. Alright, now one thing to just, oh, helps if you have it the right way up as well, Carol. One thing to just think about is that if I just stick that to that and stick that one to that one, okay, so if I just stick them to each other, can you see how I've got that little bit sticking out there and I've got a little bit sticking out there, but even if they were flush up, if I look at it from the side, I've got this bit here. So what I can do is I can taper those corners. Right, I don't want to go right into the corner of where the crease is, so I'm happy to take it. See if I can point with that so that you can see. So if this is the crease mark here, I don't want to cut down to that crease mark, I want to cut down to about here. Right, so it's about about an eighth of an inch further up, and I'm going to cut that off from there, and I'm going to taper it just slightly. Now it's thick, so you need either a good pair of scissors or to do it with craft knife. Alright, so that just gets rid of that little bit of excess bulk there, and I'm going to do the same on this side, but again, if that's my crease mark there, I'm going to cut it down to about there. That's the aim. So let's have another go. Cut it down to about there. So it just takes that excess bulk. Oh, I've got it upside down again, look. It just takes off that excess bulk at each end. And so what I would do is, this piece, I'm going to attach to all of that. Right, so I'm going to put glue all over there and attach that to that piece. So that makes that one whole piece that will move completely together. Then this piece, I'm going to put glue around 3 sides like I would normally do with a pocket, and then attach the bottom edge of this to the bottom edge of this flap, and then the sides will then be attached up there and up there. So I'm not attaching it wholly to the back side of that, it's just at the bottom and at the sides. So then I would have my pocket there, so that when I open it, if I put things inside of it, it will slip down to the side down there. Now, as I've said before, when you're doing things like this, this has left a lip. So it means that if you insert anything into your pocket, it's going to catch on that lip. And this again is where the micropore comes into play again, because you can attach the micropore to the edge of that there, and it just softens the edge of that lip, so that if you insert something in, it's not going to keep catching on the lip of that card. Right, so that needs to be stuck to the back of front of that, micropore on there, glue on this one 3 sides, and then glue the 2 together. Right, so I've now prepped that, and I'm not going to do it until I put my signatures in, because that could end up getting in my way when I come to put my signatures in. The next thing I want to think about is what I'm going to do on this inside bit here, on the inside of the cover. On the original version, let me just show you quickly. As I said, I just think that there's some beautiful big images in there, and I didn't want to not utilise those. So all I did on this one was I just cut some of the big images out and just stuck one on each of the inside covers, and I used photo corners as well to make it look as though I'd actually added a picture. I might do something slightly different with this one. I might put a pocket on. Not quite sure yet. We'll have a think on that one, but that's what you need to be thinking about as well, is what are you going to do on that? And then obviously I've got this lip here where the outer edge of my bag comes into contact with the black card. I could just leave that. I could put masking tape on, washi tape, some lace, but I'll have a little think about that. That's what you need to do too. Then when it comes to the front cover, now don't decorate it just yet, because again we've got to put the signatures in, and then again I'll show you on the original one. I used Craftex on this one, so you can't see the stitching because it's underneath this Craftex. So I actually cut out a piece of Craftex and embossed it, and then stuck that over the edge so it now acts as a support around there. We can use fabric, you can use other paper as well, but I'm going to come to that when we've come to attaching the signatures. But it means then that you need to take into consideration that that is going to be chopping off part of this bag here. So again, you can go through the thought process of, well, what can I do? So I'm actually going to I'm going to mess about with quite a few layers, and I'm going to use probably some cheesecloth, some fabric, and then I thought maybe one of the spare bits of yellow paging that I'd got, because then I've got this image that I then cut out. So, and I actually thought, well, actually that doesn't go too bad, does it? Smart women are wearing in Paris. Put that image on there, and then I've got, where have they gone? There we go. Underneath all my bits of rubbish I've just been cutting. And then I've got all these little tiny images that I'd got as well. And I thought, you know, I could layer those up, put some buttons on, put a bit of lace on. So, yeah, thought that could make quite a nice cover. And then, of course, you've got to think about your closure. There's loads to think about, isn't there, when you come to making a journal? But these are all the things that you can now start to be looking at, thinking about, looking at other videos for inspiration, look at Pinterest for inspiration, write down little notes of things that you like. And I'll meet you back here in a couple of days, and we'll put the signatures together and do a few more bits and bobs. Okay? We've had an awful lot of new ladies join the Facebook group, which is brilliant. Thank you very much for that. One thing that I would actually respectfully request is that I ask a series of questions before you join. And there's a few people who haven't answered those questions. That's fine. That's your choice. But I'm having to then do research on you to find out about you. The reason why I ask the questions is that I want to protect the members of the Facebook group, and I want to make sure that there is no one who is a spammer on there, who is coming in to come and pinch my members' information, which, if you're wanting to join, that will mean I'm wanting to protect you too. So please just spend that little bit of extra time. It only takes a couple of minutes to just answer I think there's 3 questions in total. It just helps me out a lot when I'm screening about who I'm allowing into the group. You know who you are, but I don't. And I just want to make sure that everyone's protected and safe in this technological world of ours. So I hope you understand why I'm doing that. But yeah, more the merrier. Come join us. It's lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the lovely comments again as well. And I'll see you on the other side of the 30-day challenge. Okay? Speak to you in a couple of days. Bye.